Hello and welcome, all you expecting mothers. My name is Dr. Nimisha Mehta, and today I'm here to discuss with you about a very important topic which often brings a lot of worry, and that is gestational diabetes or diabetes during pregnancy. So if you're somebody who's been told that you're recently diagnosed with gestational diabetes, please take a deep breath. I want to tell you that you're not in this alone and this is not your fault. GDM is a fairly common condition among pregnant women today, and this can absolutely be managed together by us. So I'm here to guide you so as to what is GDM, why it happens, and most importantly, how can we navigate together through GDM through each trimester of your pregnancy to ensure a healthy mother and a healthy baby. So let's begin and understand what is gestational diabetes. Now, simply put, gestational diabetes is diabetes that develops for the first time during pregnancy in somebody who's never experienced diabetes before. Now, why does this happen? Now, we all are aware of placenta, which is the connection between the mother and the baby. Now, while your placenta's main job is to nourish your baby, it also produces certain hormones which may reduce the efficacy of your insulin. Now, insulin is the important hormone which regulates your blood sugar levels and is responsible for removing the excessive blood sugar from your blood into your cells for energy. Now, when insulin resistance develops because of placental hormones is when you start experiencing blood sugar spikes or diabetes during pregnancy. Now, there are many risk factors which may predispose you to gestational diabetes, which include your age above 35, having a pre-existent diabetes before pregnancy, a family history or genetics of diabetes, and also if your pre-pregnancy weight or your BMI is on the higher side. But for some women, despite having none of these factors, gestational diabetes may just occur naturally as a part of their pregnancy. Now let's quickly touch upon why is it so important to manage gestational diabetes. For that, you need to know what are the possible complications or effects of gestational diabetes on your pregnancy. So coming to the mother's health, gestational diabetes can make you gain excessive weight over a shorter period of time. It can also predispose you to developing higher blood pressure in pregnancy, which is known as preeclampsia. It can increase your amniotic fluid levels rapidly, and this can also cause some trouble for your baby in utero. As far as the baby is concerned, the baby also may gain weight rapidly and can become larger for gestation, which is known as macrosomia. Larger babies have a trouble coming down through natural vaginal birth, and this increases the chances of cesarean section deliveries. These babies also can be predisposed to developing diabetes in their adult life, and sometimes after delivery, they are immediately predisposed to hypoglycemia. Well, the crucial part is that all of these complications can be very effectively managed with good blood sugar control. Now let's understand, how would you know that you have developed gestational diabetes, or what is the common screening test for GDM in pregnancy? So it's a very simple single-step procedure known as the oral glucose challenge test. Now here, your gynac would ask you to drink a 75-gram glucose solution and 2 hours later, give a simple blood test for your sugar levels. That's how easy it is to pick up diabetes in pregnancy. And if you're somebody who's been diagnosed with diabetes, your doctor may then ask you to check your fasting sugar levels and your post-meal sugar levels. Or sometimes a simple finger prick sugar test post every meal to know your blood sugar levels. Now, a few tips to manage GDM and how you can go about if you've been diagnosed with GDM. Now remember, GDM typically develops between 24 to 28 weeks most of the times. But suppose you're somebody who has risk factors like a higher BMI or a family history, or you've conceived with twin pregnancy, etc., then remember, your management starts even before you are diagnosed. So in your first trimester, simple lifestyle and dietary changes like swapping excessive carbohydrates with fiber and more protein in your diet is something that will work wonderfully. So you can swap all those breads, pastas with whole grains, with millets, and with brown breads and brown rice. So that increases your fiber and also does not spike your sugar levels after every meal. Also, you can try something as simple like a 10 to 15 minute post-meal walk, which is also going to take care of the post-meal spikes in your sugar and insulin. Now, second trimester is a more crucial time because this is when we see more and more cases of gestational diabetes getting picked up. So this is the time when you really need to manage your diet and your lifestyle efficiently. Now, my top tip would be the rule of half. Now, fill in your plate, almost half of it, with non-starchy and green leafy vegetables like broccoli, kale, spinach, etc. These are high in fiber and again will fill you up without causing that spike in your glucose and your insulin. Also, always remember to pair carbohydrates with more proteins. That's also going to take care of your insulin spikes. Hydration is key. You need to increase your water intake during your second trimester. Also, you need to stay away from foods which have a higher glycemic index and go for foods with lower glycemic index because they will not cause an immediate spike in your glucose and insulin. Now, coming to the third trimester, your baby is growing rapidly. This also causes a little compression on your stomach and you feel full faster. So we normally advise patients to avoid bigger and larger meals and also avoid staying empty stomach for too long. Make sure you have small but frequent meals every 2 or 3 hours. That helps you to keep full and also prevent sugar spikes. Physical activity should be done as much as your body permits you to. Remember, the key here is to avoid rapid and excessive weight gain over a short period of time. Also, the third trimester discomfort may cause a lot of difficulty in sleeping and lack of sleep. But remember, lack of sleep increases your cortisol or your stress hormone levels, and that can predispose to a high blood sugar. So sleeping is extremely important. Even better if you can sleep on your left lateral position because that also improves the oxygenation to your baby. Meditation, doing prenatal yoga, light walking after every meal are few more tips that can help to deal with gestational diabetes and also prevent rapid weight gain during your third trimester. So if you've been diagnosed with gestational diabetes, I know it can be slightly overwhelming, but remember, it can all be managed with efficient diet and lifestyle changes. At Navkar Hospital, we don't just treat the condition, but we genuinely care for the mother and her baby and wish to make this experience truly holistic and memorable for you. So you can get in touch with our expert team of obstetricians and medical professionals to have a customized and personalized approach towards your pregnancy and help you deal with conditions like gestational diabetes to make your journey smooth and uneventful. Remember, gestational diabetes is only temporary and it lasts only so long as your pregnancy lasts. Most of the time, it's completely reversible and your blood sugar levels can come back to normal as soon as childbirth happens. Remember that the journey is temporary, but the destination, if you follow the correct guidelines, can be made healthy for the future health of your baby.